Hi everyone at Hoboken Free Church. My name is Doug and we are back for another elder-led devotion. I've really loved watching these and doing these as well. They're just, it's great to just stay in the Word and tackle a different passage every week. So we're going to jump in. We're continuing in James. This is James chapter 4, verses 1 through 12. I said last time in my devotion, I think that James is so incredibly practical that all I'd really need to do is just read this passage and it makes so much sense just right off the glance, like right at first glance. So I'll keep it as close to just the biblical scripture as I can, and I just pull out a few things that kind of are highlighted for me and things that I've been living by in James, especially in this passage. Okay, so I will read it. The chapter title is Warning Against Worldliness. It says, "What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? You desire and do not have, so you murder. You covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly, to spend it on your passions. You adulterous people. Do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you suppose it is to no purpose that the scripture says, He yearns jealously over the Spirit that He has made to dwell in us? But He gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be wretched and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will exalt you. Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. The one who speaks evil against a brother or judges his brother speaks evil against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is only one lawgiver and judge, He who is able to save and to destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor?" So I just think that's such an incredible passage. And isn't it just amazing? You read that and it's so applicable even to right now, today, in this world. I just think so many things it nails right on the head. So I'll just kind of go through and pick out a couple of things that really stand out to me, things that, practically I've been able to live by. The first of this idea of, friendship of the world is being an enemy to God. And I think what James is really trying to convey is if you are not pursuing the things of God, you're just pursuing the things of this world. And that could be material things, getting more, doing more, accomplishing this and that for our own personal gain. But all that's doing is just building up pride, and it's going in the exact opposite direction of God. So no matter how much you try to be good, or no matter how much you try on your own, what you're going to do is build up pride. And what James is saying here is pride is something that God opposes. So when you're prideful, that's going to lead to anger, that's going to lead to fighting, that's going to lead to jealousy, that's going to lead to judgment, that's going to lead to all these negative things in our lives, and these things take root in our lives, and they come in so sneaky and so soft, but it starts with pride, and it's saying that God opposes that. So I love what it says here. It says, "Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will exalt you." I just love that, this idea that what we need to do is just lower ourselves, take a step down, humble ourselves, see that we're not prideful. It's this whole idea of just becoming lower, and that's when you become humble, and that's when you're going to be exalted by God. And that's when you can really start to feel fulfilled. And I just think that's such a cool thing. Something that no one really talks about. Because in today's world, it's all about having the most, being the best. But God's just saying, humble yourselves. Don't follow the things of the world. Follow what I want you to become a part of. And that's when God is going to really start to lead you and start to use you. And that's when you feel fulfilled in your life as well. So I think that is so great. And then just the last part, I just think it's so applicable to today. Verse 11 and 12, talking about judging, just says, "Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. The one who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks evil against the law. But if you judge the law, are you not a doer of the law, but a judge? There is only one lawgiver and judge, he who is able to save and destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor?" Right? I think it's so incredible. There's just judgment running rampant in the streets. There's judgment, whether you say it out loud, it could still be in your heart. And what do we think about our neighbors that we see on a daily basis? Ones that we know that might have different views from us, that have different beliefs from us, that are just different from yourself personally. And how do we talk to those people? How do we treat everyone around us? And I think this is saying we're not supposed to judge people. We're supposed to be humble, and we're supposed to love people. And it doesn't say that there's any exception in that either. So I just think, as we go throughout these next couple weeks, especially things are very politicized right now, it's just being less judgmental. And just see how that works out for you. I think it'll be really pleasant to let so many things go. So we're just going to be pursuing the things of God, pursuing God, drawing to Him every day, pursuing the world less, and judging less every day. And I think even throughout the next couple weeks, you'll just be amazed at what happens. So that is all I have for you today. I encourage you to read James, really dive into what this book has to say, and that's great. So join us again next week. See you, everyone.